All right, so we got two different styles of shocks here. This one is for your traditional control arms, your factory control arms on the A bodies, probably the G bodies and F bodies too. This one, this style is for a tubular control arm, if you have tubular control arms. So just wanted to show you guys the difference. So when you get ready to order shocks from QA1 or anywhere else, actually, just be aware that there is two different types. You got the T-bar, and then this one has a bolt that goes through it. So if you're going with QA1 shocks, make sure you note the difference and let them know if you got factory or aftermarket tubular control arms. All right, so we got our car jacked up. We got our jack stand in place. Always use your jack stands. I don't normally wear gloves when I work on cars. I should, but I got a lot of cuts on my fingers that kind of hurt. So yeah, we're putting the bitch mittens on. Those Mickey Thompson street comps are looking good. Cool. Alright, so let's see here. So on the A body, you got that bolt right there that has to come out, and then those two bolts down there come out. Alright, so somehow or another I screwed up the recording on the other side. Go figure. So I guess I'll walk you through it on this side. First thing you want to do is jack it up, put it on the jack stand, put pressure under this wheel or under the control arm. Pull your carter pin out for your upper ball joint, because we're going to be pulling that, separating that apart to get the shock and spring out. What I usually do is I will I'll let that spring, or I'll tighten or loosen that nut, and I'll leave the nut on there just so nothing comes flying out at me. It shouldn't, but that don't mean nothing. All right, there's the pop. That's what we're looking for. Alright, got that off. Then you want to take the nut off of the can't hardly read the sizes on these. You want to take the nut off of the stabilizer bolt. It's hot as hell out here, guys. Give me a little break. Okay, that had a little pressure on, didn't it? Probably should have been wearing eye protection on that. You should have two nuts on top of your shock. You should have a jam nut and then the other nut that tightens it down. So, like I said, on the other side, these shocks are still good, so I don't want to, lose any pieces to them, any bolts or anything, because probably be able to use them on something else. I know they're cheap shocks, but I'm pretty cheap, if we're being honest. Alright, there's our factory shock. Unfortunately, the QA1 does not come out like that or go back in like that. We have to do a little modification. shocks and stuff down in there somehow. Alright, so you see these two little tabs right here? I already popped one out. Let's pop the other one out. They're pretty easy. Just grab your old screwdriver and then pop that out. Then we're going to make sure these are big enough. Alright, so now take our bolts out of this. Our coil spring rolled away on us. Ideally, I would just be putting coilovers on it, but it's already got eyeblock lowering springs on it. So we're just gonna leave it for now. See how it drives with these new springs on it, or new shocks on it. These are cool because they got a like 0 to I think 13 or 0 to something rating on them, so you adjust your stiffness however you want them. So I kind of went somewhere in the middle. I more went aggressive handling because that's how I plan on driving it, aggressively. I didn't necessarily build this car to drive it not aggressively. Let's just say that. I'll go ahead and turn this dial 13 like I did the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now it's probably gonna ride like a hay wagon. I'm prepared for that, so. Woohoo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, I may have just shat my pants a little bit. Okay. Now we're gonna get this upper ball joint in here. Get this nut back on here as quick as we can. Once this nut's in place, this thing ain't gonna fly apart and kill you. And you tighten that upper bolt back up, or and you put your jam nut on. We got our jam nut on. Tighten up these two bottom shock bolts. that's it. So that is the QA1 shock install. As you can see, it's kind of tight in there, but you can get to that adjuster.